Hello, Trouties. It's Friday here in the Manic Trout studio. I am Sierra Bailey, the designer and maker here at Manic Trout. And as we've started this lovely tradition, I will be sharing some nice words and trying on jewelry for you today in the studio. I just saw that my dress may be a little more revealing than I thought, so apologies on that if it feels indecent. I'm not normally one that makes a difference to, but this one is somehow drawing attention to it, so sorry. I hope you all had a lovely long weekend. We did not have a live episode in the studio this last week for multiple reasons. One, it was a long weekend, and two, I alluded to a little in social media. Unfortunately, we've lost one of the studio dogs here at Manic Trout to a rather large brain tumor. So it was the final days of that, and yeah, some sad times. However, the sad times made me post a few quotes about kind of the importance of showing up and kind of getting on with your day and making yourself get up and show up no matter what the mood is. And I wanted to kind of talk about that today with the power of how you can kind of work with that a little bit. So I work from home. 90% of the time I'm in like joggers and, you know, nothing. I tried for a while to get dressed, and then I was like, I'm ruining my clothes with wire poking myself and all of that. So I have just accepted the fact that working from home, most of the time I'm not going to really get dressed up. If I work out of the home or if I go to a meeting, I absolutely will put in a little more effort, which is actually, the more I talk to people, becoming greatly common. So for those of us that don't actually have to get up and present ourselves every day, there is a great power in showing up. You know, you get out of bed, you whatever, wash your face. Sometimes that's hard. Put on something presentable and get out there. On the hard days, that's pretty difficult to do. But one of the things that in my life, as you all know, I love color. One of the things I've realized is kind of the more color you put on, the more it can affect your mood a little bit. And I have had the pleasure of having a few conversations with some Trouties on Facebook and Instagram about this recently. That really, if you're having a bad day and you look at something that is hot pink or bright blue or something saturated that you love, you're going to feel better. Like, there's no denying that. It will just actually pep you up and make you a little bit happier. So I, as I'm illustrating for you right now, am a big fan of wearing color in general. It makes me feel happy. I like to wear it. There, of course, is also the crazy, concept of colorful accessories, because who doesn't love colorful accessories? Now, what I kind of want to talk about today is that sometimes, as somebody that wears tons and tons of color, I'm illustrating this perfectly by having something that has like 12 colors in it, stripes, diagonals, all sorts of things. So then the question comes, how is one supposed to put your accessories on without looking full on Punky Brewster? Which, you want to look like Punky Brewster, I support that because she's like my total fashion role model. So I wanted to, as I kind of talk about color today, show you how you can put on statement jewelry that is in a neutral color. I'm going to show you a bunch of white options so you can kind of see how you don't have to. If you're wearing, like, let's say a brightly colored dress, you do not have to wear also brightly colored jewelry, although I support that decision too. But you can go neutral so that it's not overwhelming if you're kind of new to the color concept. So right now, I am wearing the Ibiza Everything I Need necklace and earrings, actually, which are white druzy and go with all sorts of things. Double strand, built right in. You don't have to worry about layering. It layers for you. And this necklace kind of surprised me. I designed this with 4 different color possibilities, and it goes with like everything, and it's a great filler. So it's still a statement piece, but when I'm wearing something like this lower than I thought cut dress, it fills it in nicely without it seeming, like it is sticking out too much, things like that. So on days that you have maybe busy patterns and you want statement, but without like the hugeness of some of the possibilities, something like this is great. A couple of chains you can layer. I know some of you Trouties are like magicians with your layering. I'm not great with layering. I sometimes need a little help, which is why I build them into some of the designs. So I'm going to take that off and move on to other things. How are you guys all doing today? Did everybody have Monday off? It's very weird. I never know how the kind of real world functions for holidays. Monday off or Friday off? I think it was Friday. So the next option that we have here is the Ishi Sky Full of Stars necklace. So when I name things, we've talked about this, the jewelry after songs, but the first names are, I get them from, actually it's a dog name generator, and I go through, like, I'll maybe use Japanese names or French names for certain things. I can't pronounce any of them, so excuse me as I try to pronounce things. So this is the Sky Full of Stars necklace. There are bracelets that match it, that are the Cosmic Love bracelets. And I love this because the beads don't go all the way around. It is glass, and the chain comes halfway to take some of the weight off. And it has an off-center. It's kind of like a hematite glass that is there on the side to do the signature Manic Trout off-center askew look. But again, another neutral, that this is a great option. Also looks wonderful. Thank you, Laurel. Over, like if you had a higher necked blouse or dress, it looks great over it too, and the glass is clear, which is always weird to describe. Thank you, Jessica. On the descriptions, do you say clear, do you say glass? But it is clear. It is transparent glass. So I have noticed from some of you Trouties in the last year or so, and I make quite the effort. Most of these things, there are matching earrings, there are matching bracelets. I'm not really talking about those today, but if you're on manictrout.com, you'll see those are available. For those of you that want to take the matching aspect out of it, you just know what goes together and perfect. All right, now this one, because I just can't help myself, it's blue. I'll say that right from the beginning. It's the Come a Little Closer necklace. It has a starfish. We've noticed, we've been learning here that things spin when you hold them right up. I love the starfish. This is a very subtle of the animal pieces. It's not crazy. The Amazonite stones are beautiful, and they are almost like a sea foam, kind of like that antique blue-green glass if it were in the ocean. That's kind of, I feel like, what Amazonite ends up looking like. And this is, because of its smaller size, and it is a light blue, a very neutral piece too. It's not hot pink. I like to design with the very brights. But this is something that, perhaps not this dress, now that I actually get it on there, but it could go great with patterns, especially if you're wearing a really brightly colorful thing and you choose to use your jewelry in maybe one of the colors that's in the pattern. Like if it's a floral, choose the stones that match part of the flowers, maybe like a little of the like the detail, and then it makes it pop a little bit. That's always a wonderful trick of choosing your color if you do want to add subtle color. We're going back to white though. This is the Weight of Love necklace. We're approaching summer, so I'm excited about all of the coastal creatures coming back out. This one is, let me show you. This is a whale, and it's not the same shape, but this whale reminds me of Fudgy the Whale. I'm pretty sure Fudgy the Whale had a bigger head, if we remember the Carvel cake. Not Fudgy, but I think a sperm whale is what this is. So this one is white howlite, and the stones are large and rectangular. It is very Wilma Flintstone-ish. So this is a neutral that can go with any color, but has a little more. We're getting bigger in our statements here as we continue on. So this one has a little more size. So if you are very comfortable with the bigger necklaces, this is kind of a way to stay with a neutral color. If you have a lot, like in this dress, the white, can go with that. But it looks great with navy. Like white jeans and like a navy, like tunic blouse kind of thing. I was in Florida recently, and I actually, first time I had white jeans in a while, and I was loving the white jeans. I feel like if you're in Florida, like white jeans are like, it's just made for white jeans. The whole state of Florida. All right, so the last one to show today is the In Dream necklace, and this one has some massive magnesite stones. I love these stones. All right, so, the animal. It is a leopard for feeling very fierce. Sometimes when you get up and show up in the day, not only do you need color, but you need something like a leopard to get you going. It's very hard losing an animal, especially a young one. She was young. So, this week has been all about getting up and showing up, even when I didn't want to. All right, so there's nothing subtle about this necklace. This is like full on, oddly, like I designed this necklace and I was, thinking that it commanded a lot of attention, maybe wouldn't go with everything. I wear it with so many things. This goes with so many things. Maybe because it's flat, but it is, how sometimes you see those women that just, I don't know, I feel like they have lots of draped things on them and they just look very pulled together, but like comfortable and ready kind of to do anything. I feel like that when I wear this necklace. Like I'm like ready for it all. So this is the In Dream necklace. So Trouties, these are kind of some things that you can wear neutral wise with brightly colored things. Another great option, not as fun to try on, is to do big earrings and a bracelet and rings, or, you know, one of something, some combination of those. Marilyn Monroe always said that as you're getting dressed, right before you leave, quickly look in the mirror and do a spin and take off one thing. I think probably the thing people most often take off is they realize maybe they're having like a lot of jewelry on, so they take off a piece of jewelry. That's sad, but I understand how that could happen. So, you know, sometimes, like I said, lots of patterns, lots of colors maybe don't go as crazy in all the statement jewelry, but if you do, I love you so much more for it. So, easy ways to wear patterns and color. But the point of today, you guys, is that some days are horrible. Even when you work at home and you just want to wallow, there's a lot of power in putting on something brightly colored or fun and getting up and showing up, because as soon as you do that, it helps your mood. So does like going for a walk. Big believer in that too. But thank you for joining me today on Facebook Live Friday. I think that's what we call it. Oh, you're so welcome, Amy. Thank you for watching. I am, of course, available on the Manic Trout Facebook page where you are seeing this, and on Instagram at Manic Trout and manictrout.com. I will be back next Friday. I don't like to say the time because it's kind of depends on what's going on that day in the studio, but I hope you join me next week on the Facebook Live Friday and that you have a spectacular week. Thanks.